So we will start the webinar. Thank you again, once again, for joining us. I'm very happy and glad, we are to announce that we got the 10 coolest edge computing startup awards from CRN, and very fortunate about that part. And we will soon start the webinar. I would like to request Amar, co-founder of Arna, to speak a few words, and then we can start. Welcome, Amar.
Thanks, Priya. Hi, everyone. This is Amar Kapadia. I just wanted to give a little bit of context on this meetup series before we jump into the topic for today. So since the pandemic has begun, there is no shortage of webinars. You can literally sign up for at least 1 or 2 webinars per day, if not more. But despite so many webinars, one gap that we continue to see is engineering meetups. So before the pandemic, if you were an engineer or a technologist or an architect, and you wanted to learn more about a particular technical area, you would go to a meetup. That was sort of the normal thing to do. But that has been upended by the pandemic. So what we thought is, instead of sort of marketing oriented webinars, we will do deeply technical meetups. So that's the series we have started. And at the end of this webinar, Priya will list all the additional events that we have planned. And we plan to have it every 2 weeks. Of course, barring the Christmas vacation, but every 2 weeks we will have an event. And instead of a marketing person, we'll have an actual Arna Networks engineer who will give you a technical demo. And in that spirit, please feel free to keep this interactive. Use the chat window to ask questions and even interact with your peers, just like you would at an actual meetup. So with that background, I won't take too much of your time. So I'm going to hand it back to Priya.
Thanks, Amar. Thank you so much for the thoughtful conversation, and I hope it will help us all. I will introduce you to Sandeep, who is the lead engineer for orchestration and closed loop automation at Arna Networks, and he will take you further on the journey. Hi, Sandeep. You can take over from here.
Yeah, hi, Priya. Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Sandeep.
Yeah, so can you all see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
I see a black background with your name.
Okay.
Maybe this is what we need to see. Okay, yeah. I see some slides now.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate today is the orchestration of free 5G core on a Kubernetes cluster using the AMCOP platform. And on the target Kubernetes cluster where we orchestrate the free 5GC, the secondary networks that are required by the 5G modules are created by the Tungsten Fabric CNI. That I'll. So this slide, a simple slide, this basically explains the setup on which this demo was performed. So on a bare metal server, we created 2 virtual machines and deployed Kubernetes on both virtual machines. So the VM1 basically hosts the AMCOP orchestrator itself. And in the next slide, I'll briefly go over the various components of the orchestrator AMCOP. And the other VM which was created on this setup, I'm calling it as VM2 here. So this was the AMCOP platform for the AMCOP orchestrator. And then we deployed the free 5GC on this VM2. and Tungsten control node was already deployed on this server, and the Helm charts that are used to deploy these free 5G modules had network annotations, which basically use the Tungsten control node for creating the secondary networks. So all these are connected over all these modules were connected over the network which was created by TF. And after the deployment, for testing the 5GC deployment, we use the open source GNodeB simulator. This is an application which could be which can either run on a different virtual machine, or in this case we ran it on the same host where the 5G was deployed. And in the demonstration, we'll see how the test is performed and how we create a subscriber on the GUI of the free 5G. This is a high-level description of a typical AMCOP deployment. So in this slide, we see the dotted box which says namespace ONAP for K8s. So this namespace is we enable Istio, and if we see the modules, the front-facing modules in this namespace are the MCO UI. So this is the module. So this is the GUI module, which is backed by the Arna workflow engine, and Arna workflow engine basically exposes the northbound APIs to the MCO UI module, and in the backend it interfaces with the MCO component of the ONAP, which is the Kubernetes multi-cluster orchestrator of the ONAP. And this workflow engine basically then it creates the orchestration workflows, which we will go through while I present the service design time and this service instantiation time. So we'll see that on the GUI we will provide all the parameters that are required in order to orchestrate and service. And the backend, all that data is provided to this AWE, and AWE then basically executes the specific workflows which are required to create the design time artifacts in the backend and then to instantiate those artifacts. So if we see, the orchestrator is the orchestration module inside the MCO module of the ONAP, and its job is to basically perform the network control, cluster management. But in this, the MCO has a network controller, and currently it only supports OVN for K8s CNI. But in this demonstration, we are not using OVN for K8s. We use the Tungsten Fabric. Hence, we did not actually make use of this NCM module. Cluster module, we will see. Cluster module, we did onboard the target cluster to the AMCOP platform. And that basically is done by the CLM internally. And then finally is the rsync module. Rsync modules, when the orchestrator is done with the creation of the runtime entity, which is called deployment intent group in the MCO language, and the deployment static artifacts, which could be the Helm charts, which are the Helm charts. With that, the various intents that you specify stating the application. Typical intents are network intents and placement intents. When you specify placement intents, telling the orchestrator to deploy your application to a specific cluster. So that's placement intents, and the network intents are used to attach to the applications, and that internally is done by the NCM OVN for K8s. But again, in this case, that was not done because the CNI was Tungsten Fabric. And the And then this runtime entity deployment intent group is basically provided to this rsync, and then rsync reads that. rsync resolves the override parameters which we provide during the process of orchestration, resolves all the intents, and eventually it starts calling the Kubernetes APIs of the target Kubernetes cluster, and hence the resources they start spawning up in the target clusters. So this is typical deployment of AMCOP. I just gave an overview of how the various modules work and what basically interact between themselves and what they're. So this is a recorded demo. I'll play the video, and throughout the video I'll keep pausing and I'll describe what we are doing. So it starts with registering a cluster provider, and basically once we register the cluster provider, then we can onboard multiple Kubernetes clusters inside inside a cluster provider. So I created the cluster provider. Then in this step, I'm adding the Kubernetes cluster, the target Kubernetes cluster where the Free5GC will be deployed. So what we for the target cluster onboarding is the so I'm uploading the Kubernetes configuration file. So now the cluster is so now we have onboarded the cluster. There is also provision to create networks, secondary networks on this screen. So if we see the plus network, we can click on this and create the networks. But in this use case, we are not doing that. After the cluster creation, we onboard the controller, which will basically synchronize or create the actual Kubernetes resources. So this is the rsync controller, which I showed in the slide. So the controller is on board. So the next step is to create a project. Project is equivalent of a tenant. So we create the project here, and then inside the project, we will start creating the network services. So I named the project as Free5G. So this is the target cluster. So we are trying to show before the orchestration what exists. So in the default namespace, there is nothing. So now is the time to create the design time artifacts. So we create the service. And in this network service, we can onboard the applications. So in this case, actually, I consolidated all the Helm charts of the Free5GC modules. There are like 12, 13 of those modules. All the Helm charts were consolidated. Hence, I'm uploading only one artifact, which is a TGZ of the Free5GC. But we can also, I could have uploaded each and every application also by uploading the individual Helm charts under this network service. So at this point, so I'm uploading the Helm charts. So now we are uploading the profile. Profile is typically profile basically is used to override the default values in the Helm chart. and you can basically provide a config I mean by creating a profile.tz and upload it here, and internally eventually when the rsync when the orchestrator will basically, before creating the final runtime entity DAG, it will resolve the override values and create the final Helm charts. So now this service can be used for multiple runtime entities. So that we'll see now. So this is the screen to create a runtime entity, which is called the deployment intent group. So, yeah. So now we see that if we see the composite application, which is the service that we created under services, since in this deployment there was only one service, so that's why it is I mean we did not require to select the service, and it automatically showed up here, free5gc. Otherwise, this is a drop down. We can click on it and select which design time artifact do we want to use in this to create this runtime entity. So so now is the time to specify the intents. So on this screen, we are specifying the placement intent. If you remember, cluster 1 is what I named the target Kubernetes cluster, which I onboarded under the cluster provider that was created in the start of this video. So now we are choosing this cluster to deploy all the modules of the free5gc here. So if we had multiple clusters onboarded under the specific cluster provider, we would have seen multiple choices. And similarly, network tab over here is used for specifying the network intents. And since in this use case, we are not doing that. Otherwise, clicking on this provisions the user to define the network interfaces for each and every application under a network service. Submit it. Okay, so now the design time entity the runtime entity is created, and it has its own life cycle. So in this demonstration, we will just instantiate it. Clicking on this, yeah. So this message comes once the rsync controller has executed all the Kubernetes APIs which are required to orchestrate all the Kubernetes resources. Yeah, so then I logged in to the server again, and now we see that with no pod in the default namespace, we see all the 5GC pods. They have started to spawn up here, and I have this set up here. So this is the GUI of the Tungsten Fabric, which is running on the target cluster. So it shows some statistics and some information here: 28 interfaces, 16 instances, etc. And if I click on the deployment intent group, so this is what is deployed. This is live, and free5g was the name of the service that was created. Under that service, we can see all the resources, Kubernetes resources that are created. So there are a bunch of them: deployments, config maps, stateful sets, everything basically. And it says instantiated, deployed. So everything went well. So after a while, all the services, all the pods, they came to the running state. So now is the time to run the GNodeB simulator to test this free 5G deployment. So for that, we'll log into the web GUI of the free 5GC in order to create a subscriber. So that's what we are doing here, basically copying the port which is exposed. Yeah, so logging in, so created the subscriber with all the default values. So this is this is the directory which basically has the simulator binary, and this directory also has a JSON file, configuration file, and in the configuration file we have to specify the subscriber name, the subscriber ID, which we basically created on the free 5G GUI. So that is not recorded. I think I already had done it. So I think, yeah, so this example.json. So now, yeah, so directly running the binary, and this IP address is the secondary IP address of the AMF. So this does not have a GUI, so we have to rely on these logs to see whether, I mean, to basically see the result of the testing that we are doing. Yeah, actually that's pretty much it. It ran for a while, and then I mean, yeah. So that's what I had for this.
So, anyone have any questions for Sandeep specific to this webinar? Any concerns you all have? We can just have a small session on question and answer. Anyone has? I mean, you can just either put a message in the chat, or you can just tell me. Or else, I have one question for you, Sandeep.
Yeah.
What are the prerequisites to orchestrate any 5G CONF using AMCOP?
So prerequisite is that all we need is Kubernetes cluster to host the target services. And from the orchestration point of view, we have to have this orchestrator deployed on a Kubernetes cluster. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Can the default parameters of the CNF be overridden?
Yeah. So there are two ways: profiles and override values. So when we create the runtime entity, at that time we can provide the override values on top of the design time entity that we created during the design time.
Okay. Anyone has any questions, or else? Okay, I think everyone is okay. Okay, just team just wanted to inform these are our future events. You can again sign up and you can have like, there is on 11 Jan, 25th Jan, 8th February and 22nd February. And this will be our topics. I'm sure we will be meeting again. Thank you so much, everyone. And you have any questions related to this webinar, please reach out to Sandeep Sharma@arnanetworks.com. And for any other general queries or concern, please reach out to me, Priya C @arnanetworks.com or info@arnanetworks.com. I hope you have, you have taken all the email IDs. Please reach out to me for any other concerns that you have. Thank you, Sandeep. Amar, any last word?
No, nothing from my side. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
hope to see you at subsequent ones.
Yes. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day and good night.